everyone, and welcome to RCRC. That is the Relationship Connection with Ronald and Charlie, where we equip, empower, and educate couples on how to thrive in their relationships. How? Through candid conversations right here on this platform. I am Charlie Willis, a mental health therapist.
I'm Ronald Willis, a marriage and family therapist, and today we'll be discussing when it's okay for a wife to refuse sex from her husband. First, let's watch this clip.
Alexa, play My by Johnny Gill.
My by Johnny Gill on Amazon Music.
Hey!
Mom, what are you doing?
You know what time it is, baby? Johnny Gill.
No,
My.
Alexa, stop.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Hey, when Johnny Gill said my, it's time for us to do some things, baby. Come on, now it's been over a week.
Ronald, please. I'm tired.
Tired?
Yes, I'm tired.
You said that last night and the night before that. How many nights you gonna be tired?
Ronald, you know I have a busy work week. I'm extremely exhausted.
Man, Charlie, I
gotta get
got
up early in the
knees,
morning.
man. Come on. Over a week, Charlie. Come on now.
Ronald, can you please be sensitive about this issue? Turn out the light, go to bed, we'll talk about it tomorrow. I gotta get up early.
Well, according to the Bible, you can't refuse me from sex, Charlie. That's scripturally based. God has ordained you to not to say no when I want sex. Come on, now it's been over a freaking week.
Well, according to Charlie, I ain't doing nothing. Good night. Turn out that light. Foolishness.
Okay, there was a lot to talk about in that clip.
Yes, Charlie, and scripturally based is where I'm going at. You can't say no, ordained by God.
All right, let's start from the top with certain issues I can see that was wrong.
I ain't see no issues in that except the word no and go to sleep.
Okay, let's start with first. There was no respect.
What do you mean no respect?
There was no respect for me while I was asleep. You came in.
Everybody knows that just because you sleep don't mean I can't wake you up. Everybody know that, don't they?
No, they don't.
Everybody don't know that. I thought women like that. Wake me up. Wake me up.
Why would somebody want to be woken up when they're asleep?
So they can my. Do. That's why.
I disagree.
Disagree. Okay,
yeah,
all right.
That's the first issue. Being woken up. There's no respect.
So
right
you
there.
saying I can't wake you up?
Right.
What?
Right. I think with that, just knowing your relationship and your partner,
Right.
and knowing how they feel about certain things, it should be respectful. We go back and look at that clip. Just saying for this particular scenario,
Right.
I don't like to be waking up out of my sleep, which you already know that.
You really wasn't sleep. That's the difference.
See, there we go again.
You wasn't sleep. You was like sleep but not sleep.
Yeah.
So put on the Johnny Gill.
Like I said, that was no respect. That was no respect.
Okay, all right, no respect then.
All
okay.
right.
2 ways.
Okay.
No respect for my knees. Hey, I got knees, man. What I said, over a week, you was tired tonight, last night, the night before.
We're gonna get into that.
Somebody better get some rest.
All right. So another thing, the consideration of the needs while you're on it.
Consideration of my needs, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Consideration of your needs.
That's
was
right.
a selfish point being made.
What? Selfish?
There was a selfish point being made, I think, yeah. Again, waking up out of the sleep to fulfill your needs. That's the consideration. There was no consideration of my needs of being asleep.
What about my needs?
Selfish.
You had sleep last night.
Yeah, that's how it
That's
happened.
right.
Every night.
You got your needs last night. Tonight supposed to be something different, but I think we need to go to the Word. Yeah, I think that the word need to educate us on what to do.
I'm glad you said that.
That's right.
So the way it was,
Because I got the word on my side.
okay, thanks. The way it was presented in the clip, though, you tried to
Ordained.
guilt me into
Guilt?
Yeah,
I'm trying to educate you on the scripture about guilt.
Guilt
Come
me.
on now. Come on, man.
you can't guilt someone into doing something by throwing the scripture out.
So, I can't tell you what the scripture say?
You can say what the scriptures say, but if
So
you
if I
look
tell
at
you
the
what the
clip,
scripture says, it's guilt.
you,
Is
yeah,
that what I'm hearing?
it was someone it was like you trying to guilt the person into doing that.
I'm trying to educate you and then empower you so you can be obedient to the scripture.
Okay, let's get to the scripture.
Let's get to the scripture. All right. The scripture is 1 Corinthians, 7th chapter, 4th through the 5th verse.
All right,
Let's read it, y'all.
read it.
All right. The wife, that's you, Charlie, does not have authority over her own body, but yields it to her husband. That's me. So, you don't have authority over your body. I got it.
Okay, continue reading.
All right. So, in the same way, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but yields it to his wife. So, your body belongs to me, and my body belongs to you. So, when I want to have sex with your body, which is my body, you can't say no. This is scripturally ordained.
So when
I
we-
just read it.
When we look at the scripture,
Let's
which
look
is
at it. Let's look at the scripture.
It's very misunderstood.
Ain't no misunderstanding about that.
Very
No.
misunderstood.
Ain't no misunderstanding about it.
And again, we know
Your
that.
body belongs to who? Just finish the sentence for me.
And again, we know that people try to make the scripture out to what they want it to be.
Oh, you said I'm one of those people?
I'm just saying that.
No. You said one of those people?
Okay. Paul wrote this in the
Paul who? Oh, okay, Paul.
in the
Okay.
intention. There's Apostle Paul. In the intentions of
Just making sure.
man and woman being together and not no one, man or woman, going to a vow of celibacy is basically what it is, because that could lead to immoral behavior. Anything that we do has to be a decision together, not something that someone has. Now, if I go back and we look at the clip here, obviously it doesn't sound like this was a happenstance. It's happened before. There's a pattern.
What do you mean a pattern?
A pattern, because you said that in the script, in this clip,
Yes,
it said
the pattern of being said no. That's the pattern.
that you said no, that I said no previously. So, and the night before,
Yeah,
so
how many
honestly,
no's you gonna say?
that's what I'm saying. When you come up against something like this, why wasn't a discussion already made prior to that? And that's what that needs to happen. When you see
So
that
you
there's a
saying
need.
I gotta have a whole discussion just to have sex?
Yeah,
That's what you're saying?
Pretty much.
What? What happened
Pretty
to
much.
being spontaneous? What happened to being in the mood? What happened to all those things?
Obviously, there's something else going on here. So,
Something.
That,
I know
yeah.
what's going on. I'm getting deprived.
okay,
So we need to read the word some more.
continue.
That's right. Because see, I'm trying to be obedient to the word. That's all I'm trying to do.
Right,
So what the word say, that's what I'm gonna do.
okay,
I'm trying to be obedient.
continue.
Do not, Charlie, deprive Ronald Willis of sex. I mean, let me read it again, y'all. Do not deprive each other. Do not deprive each other except perhaps by mutual consent and for a time, so that you may devote yourself to prayer. And I want to emphasize on the first three words: do not deprive. So, in other words, they're saying you can't say no.
Right, and then it backs it up with unless mutual consent.
That's right.
So-
So if I want to have sex, right, and you don't, you can't say no. There's no mutual consent. We both got to agree not to have sex. If one person, like Ron Willis, want to have sex with Charlie Willis, right, according to the word, you can't say no.
I think it's deeper than that.
Deeper? No.
When you're, yeah, it's deeper than
Come
that.
on.
It's
I
deeper
need some help, y'all. I need some help. Somebody help me.
because you have to get down to what really is going on. you know, in your relationship. You know, because that's where it can't, the gray area, the disagreement, the argument come. It can't be one-sided. I think that in that clip, it would have worked better if, like I said, if a conversation was happened prior to this, and then
Okay.
also you taking in consideration of your partner,
I did take into consideration of you.
of how they're feeling, what they're going through. I said in the clip, I was, had tired, had a busy work week. You know,
Okay.
you have to be considerate of your partner to, to be able to get to that point. Yeah.
So you said I was not being considered?
No, there was no.
But
yeah.
you said no last night.
Right.
And you said no the night before.
Right.
So when does the question become a yes?
I don't know about a question becoming a yes, but I do know that the conversation should have happened way prior before that evening. Like it
So,
could have happened the
all right.
next day.
So when should the conversation happen then? It can't happen right then?
Two communication. It takes two people, and both of them have to be willing,
All right, okay.
and to be able to, conversate. Is it a good time to talk? It may not be a good time to talk right then.
So
Because
when
of a disagreement, because of the argument, it can lead into more things. So, a conversation of this sensitive nature, because this is a sensitive conversation with a lot of people. You want your spouse undivided attention, and
that is so true.
when we get riled up like that,
Who's riled up? I wasn't riled up.
no. When we get riled up like that,
You said I was riled up.
not you, but
Okay.
me, as per se in the clip,
So,
when we
that's
get
right,
riled
you
up
was
like
riled
that,
up.
that's not a good time to have a conversation.
Because you said one thing in the clip. You talking about according to Charlie.
Yes, so
But
yeah.
but it's according to the Bible.
That we have a conversation about it. So we can be
I haven't read that in the scripture yet. Okay. But I'm stuck on the authority part.
Okay.
Your body belongs to me.
Again, here we are misinterpreting how the scripture bases my belief, because what we do is we take one word and we run with it. We seldom often read the text in its entirety, before and after, and what it means. There's no. I don't feel like it doesn't give anyone a right, even if the shoe's on the other foot, to demand that.
So I'm interpreting the scripture as you can't say no.
Okay.
Right? Right? Is that right? I just want to make sure I understand that. I'm interpreting the scripture as you can't say no.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the scripture in its entirety of the mutual decision that needs to be made.
So you stuck on one word now.
You
You said
not stuck on the word, that one word, but mutual being both parties. That's the importance, I think, right there.
so. How you get mutual right if one person said yes, another person said no?
Definitely, a conversation has to happen. Now, if this issue is something that happened, it just happened that once, or if it's something that is deeply rooted, like it continues, there's a pattern, there may need be some help on what's going on.
But why is it that it seemed to be dominated by the women saying no, and then the husband want to have sex and the wife is saying no? It seemed to be dominated in that area. I'm not saying wholeheartedly. I'm not saying every relationship is like that. What I am saying that majority of the relationships seem to be in a place where the man want to have sex and the woman don't want to have sex for whatever reason, right?
Hormonally based, men are more sex driven than women are.
But I'm saying though, it just puts the man in the platform. Do the woman want to have sex with her man? In that clip, right? Obviously, it's been over a week.
Right.
Right? So, does she want to have sex with him? Is something going on?
Again, yeah. See, so that's why it's so important that a conversation happen, or conversations happen.
Our conversation did happen.
Because if not, it can lead to the male going out somewhere else. That happens.
You said the man going out cheating.
Yeah, that immoral
But see,
behaviors that are not fulfillment to your
but
marriage.
that's why I go back to the scripture said, do not deprive.
Right. Okay.
Don't deprive me. No.
Yes.
Do not say no.
Right.
So, but if you say no, and the scripture say you can't say no, then are you following the scripture?
And not in its entirety.
This entirety
Right.
stuff, right? Okay, so I'm thinking that if that situation does occur, it's something going on.
Definitely.
Yeah, but think about how the man gonna think if something's going on. What the man's gonna think? He's not gonna be satisfied, right? His needs are not gonna be met. Like I was saying, come on, John, I got needs. I got needs. Well, come on, it's been a week, okay. And then the other thing you said is that perhaps he may go seek comfort somewhere else, okay. So these are the things that are going on a man's mind, right? About hey, something is not going on in the bedroom. So these are my thoughts. But what are the woman thoughts? What is she thinking?
Right.
If she said no, right? Because
Right.
obviously, you're tired tonight, last night, the other night. It's been a week, and
Right. Definitely.
what's her thoughts?
Right. Yeah. And I'm glad you said that.
I'm glad I said it too, y'all.
What's her thought?
Yeah. What is her
her
thought?
thoughts?
Because part of her thoughts should be, I want to satisfy my man.
Okay.
I don't
Then
want
there's
him.
nothing wrong with that. There's
I don't
nothing
want
wrong
him
with having
going.
that thought.
I don't want him going out seeking affection, love, or romance from someone else.
Right.
So isn't that there's an opportunity if the woman is tired, she still may engage in sex because she want to satisfy her man.
Not saying that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. But when you get to the point of refusal, what's going on then?
Oh, so you refuse me? That's what it is.
That's what it looked like in the clip.
According to Charlie.
Yes.
Nothing's going down tonight,
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah. So when we get to refusal, yeah.
Yeah. So there are deeper issues going
Yeah,
on.
and I could definitely say that.
But think about how the man gonna feel.
I'm trying to say, I could definitely say that the response could have been a lot different.
That's right, because the response was
The response
disrespectful.
yes, that's right.
It was disrespectful,
The
y'all.
response wasn't good. The response could be a lot different. To get, I think when you're communicating with your spouse and to get what you want or to get to a common ground,
Right.
the response, the way you talk to each other, the way you address the situation is big. That's very important.
Yeah, because that response could have been hurtful.
Right, definitely.
Yeah, and I was like, then we may go to a place, my wife don't want to be with me sexually. Okay? That's why I go back to the scripture. Do not deprive.
Yeah. Sex is present for three things:
All right, let's hear this.
to procreate, as we know,
All right.
to build intimacy,
Okay. What's the third?
and pleasure is the third one.
Which one you think men focus on?
Um,
That is a question. What do you think the men focus on?
Of course, they probably focus on pleasure. Building
Pleasure,
intimacy.
y'all.
Building intimacy is so very important, though.
In the scripturally based, right?
Right.
Definitely.
Yes. So again,
It's another place I think it helps though, and that is the connection,
definitely.
physical connection.
Right.
We need
That's
that.
a part of the building the intimacy.
Right, it does build intimacy. It creates that connection, and when that connection is not there, that's an emptiness going on. Right.
Right.
So I was empty in that in that clip. I need to be fulfilled, y'all.
Right. Definitely.
So we need some help with this topic, right?
We definitely need some help with this topic. I know that, again, the scriptures interpreted so many different ways. That's how we do with
The
the Bible.
scripture says you
Interpret
can't
the
do it,
scripture
Charlie.
their way.
You can't do it.
And then some people may have some hard facts behind and strong beliefs on why they feel the way they do.
Right. But you still can't be disobedient to the scripture.
Okay.
right?
We don't want to be disobedient to the scripture.
Right, that's correct.
But there's other things that line up also that can be under that scripture too. Again, mutual consent, and we do also.
Here we go, mutual consent.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna
the
stand
authority
on
over
mutual
her own
consent.
body. That's where I'm at, y'all. Do not
yeah.
deprive.
Yeah.
It just seems like we both pulling stuff out of the scripture to convey our argument, right?
Right.
You got what's your answer again? Now you saying that women can?
What I am
You
saying.
we want to get this right now.
Yeah,
you saying
that
women
is-
can say no?
that it would be awesome that the spouse will take the time to talk and understand what your partner is going through at that time. What is the reason of saying no? I don't think, if you live in a Christ-like life and looking at the scripture, we want to please our husband. We want to please our
That's
wives,
right. I
our
want to be
spouse.
pleased, y'all.
We do.
Come on.
We do.
I
'Cause
got needs.
we do. However, there's also other factors that we deal with, and
So that you said a lot. You
Yeah.
definitely said a lot. But I'm still I want. Are you saying that a woman can say no? That's what I want to. That's what we want to hear, y'all. Are you saying a woman can say no?
I'm saying a woman can say no.
What? Man, we got some problems, y'all. So I'm saying a woman can't say no,
Okay.
right? Now I got scripture backing mine up.
I do too.
Okay, then let's hear your scripture,
that-
Charlie. You got the same scripture I got?
Yeah, I got the same scripture you got.
Jesus. You got the same scripture I got. Come on, somebody help us. So
So
We
what
need-
we want to do, yeah,
Right, okay.
definitely want to do is
Help.
solicitate, your
I need some
responses.
help. Yeah, so
We want to solicit and get your responses on how you feel about this topic, which is,
this is a important, strong topic, and it's one of the things that as a man and wife coming together is part of that physical connection. Now we
Right.
need the physical connection, the emotional connection, the mental connection, and the spiritual connection. Okay, and the physical connection is the only one we get with each other. God designed that the man and woman come together to become one. Their flesh become one, and part of that becoming oneness is a physical connection. Because we don't get a physical connection with God, right? And we don't get the same physical connection with anybody else. We only get that physical connection with the person that we marry, our spouse, our husband, our wife.
as it should be.
Right. So it's important, and sometimes it's complicated because the way I think about sex is not the way you think about sex. And my needs are not your needs, and your needs are not my needs. They could be different. I may want to have sex every night. You may want to have sex how much?
Maybe twice a week.
Twice a week.
If I'm not
I need
tired.
some help, y'all. I need some help, y'all. Twice a week. Come on, man. No, I'm playing though. But anyway, so I'm just illustrating that the needs are different.
Right.
And so when we come together as husband and wife, we want to understand each other's needs. Okay. And we want to understand what the Bible is telling us. So what we want to do, we want to solicit our audience to email us and tell us what y'all think. Is Charlie right?
Not necessarily if
Is
Charlie.
I'm right.
Not necessarily if.
We already know who's right, right?
And also, I like to have an understanding of why you respond the way you respond. Also.
If you say a wife can refuse to have sex, right? Then we want, what's your rationale? And then if you say a wife can't, then what's your rationale? We also want to know, what gender you are, if you're male or female, because we want to know what the woman gonna say, what's the man gonna say. Is a similar thought process, or all the men gonna say you can't refuse, or all the women say you can refuse. Okay, what's your reason? Okay, And then, of course, we want to share that, with our viewers and discuss those things and stuff. Because, we're at now, she is saying one thing and I'm saying another thing.
Right.
So, as we are couples, we got to get this right, y'all. Because I can't be playing Johnny Gill and getting a no.
Right. So you guys can send your responses to our email address at firstfocusfaith@gmail.com. And we'll have that also listed on the screen for you as well. You can send them in, and so we can air them for next week.
Right.
Yeah, because
And
this topic is definitely
a heated topic.
And there's going to be a second part next week that we'll further discuss after we go through the responses, and then we'll also talk about how the couples can come to mutual consent. Yes.
Here we go with that mutual consent. Come on, what about the authority over the body? What about that part?
So we'll talk about all of that.
Yeah. So I want to read the scripture again to make sure that we capture the scripture, because I need some answers.
Okay.
All right. So again, we come in 1 Corinthians 7th chapter. How about you read it, Charlie? Because I read it last time. Because I want to make sure that you understand what the scripture is saying. You got it?
Yeah, I'll
so
read
you
it.
go ahead and read it, because
NIV version. All right. The wife does not have authority over her own body.
Say that again now. I want to make sure I hear this. I want to make sure everybody hear this, because I didn't hear you. Say
But
it
use
again.
it to her husband.
No, stop. What about the wife does not what now?
The wife does not have
Okay,
authority over her own body, but use it to her husband. In the same way, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but use it to his wife.
See, us men, we don't have a problem with that. Right?
Okay?
Okay. All right.
Do not deprive each other except perhaps by mutual consent and for a time, so that you devote yourselves to prayer. Then come together again so that Satan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control.
That last part, we didn't really talk about it much, but that's huge.
It is.
Because if you deprive each other, right, then you allow Satan to come in the middle of your relationship, and perhaps we talked about being tempted. Not just the man, but both parties being tempted, because you depriving each other of something that we need.
Right,
we need
right.
that physical connection. We need that in order to sustain ourselves in a relationship as we come together to be one. So
Definitely.
I'm again saying what, Charlie? No.
You're
Okay.
saying no.
All right, so let's wrap it up, baby.
All right. So thank you. We want to thank you guys for watching RCRC, the Relationship Connection. Here, you can visit us, our website at firstfocusfaith.com. All that information will be listed on the screen. Reach out to us on our social media platforms of Facebook and Instagram. And also, again, our email address. Don't forget to send in your responses so
Right.
we
We
can
want to know what
discuss
you
it.
think. We want to know what you think.
That's right. So we can really dig and deep dive into this topic again on next week. So thank you guys and have a great day.